Jesus slumps in death. We don't need to go through that. And then cries, "It is finished." This morning I was thinking 1869 at Promontory Point in Utah, when they finally had built the rails that went from the west coast at San Francisco and had joined with what had been built across the Rocky Mountains from Chicago, or from St. Louis, I guess it would be, and the Central Railroad joined with the Pacific Railroad, and two governors, when they laid the last track to join the East and West together, and each took a golden spike, or one golden spike, whichever it was, and they drove the spike in so that those that were here could get to there. Right. Did you hear me?
Yes.
So that those who are here can get to there.
Right.
I know this is super simple. I'm just about done. But how many of you need to know that those that are here do not have a broken rail system?
Right.
There is no derailment between us and eternity. Because the spikes, a golden spike, was driven through the heel and through the hands of Jesus. And the governor of this side, that is what? Adam. And the governor of that side, that is the Lord, met together at a point. Jesus took our spikes for us. You may not even realize, as you're sitting in the boxcar just enjoying the scenery of the mountains, getting to San Francisco, that came at the cost of a death. Let's get close. His beginning, his birth, his boyhood, his baptism, his battles, his blessings, his betrayal, his blood. And then the eyes that had looked on Adam and the creation slumped in death. Divorce is a tough thing. Defeat is a tough thing. Death is a tough thing. There's so much I can say that I've learned about death over the last 2 years. And it's not a friend by any means. It's a terrible, haunting specter that every one of us deal with. And the good news about it, though, we don't face this without a forerunner who's gone through it. We used to have a haunted house in St. Paul, Nebraska. It wasn't haunted, it just looked haunted. And when I was a little boy, even my brother Dave, older than me, didn't want to go into it. But one day, we got, it was almost in junior high. And so Dave braved it. And jimmied one of the windows open and walked through the whole house. Hallelujah. And he came out on the upper balcony looking through the window. And let me tell you something, friend. There wasn't anything in there. It was all a lie. It was all a hoax. It was fraud. We believed for years the lie that it's haunted, that it's fearful, that the booger man will get you. How do you know, folks, 2,000 years ago, somebody had the bravery to test it himself. That through death, he might deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. Man, it's a binding, crippling thing when you lose somebody. But I want to tell you something, friend. I don't have to fear for tomorrow because he lives. I can face tomorrow. I was going to wax eloquent when I closed. I was going to say, and I rehearsed this. I told her, just be quiet for a minute because I got to run through this. I'm not presenting to you a heroic Christ of a poet's pen. I'm not presenting to you a marble Christ of a sculptor's chisel. I'm not presenting to you a artistic fading Christ of a painter's brush. I'm not presenting to you a hymnal Christ of a minstrel's lyric. I am not presenting to you a canonized Christ from a historian's entry. I'm not presenting to you a cinematographic Christ of some screenwriter's imagination, and I'm not presenting to you a eulogized Christ of an orator's rhetoric. You don't like that? And I'm not presenting to you a dead Christ of a Jewish sarcophagus. What started in a birth and a baptism and blessing, even blood, ends with a breakthrough. I said it ends with a breakthrough.